a business partner, but
Okay.
I couldn't come on here and let this start without letting the people know what they about to get into, right? And so I want to, first thank you, sis, for coming on and, like changing the game, changing up like what's taught. I know we've been trying to get this together for a long time, so I want to say, you know, anyway, so I'm trying not to
Thank
read.
you.
But no, look, so y'all, I met Abrisha some years back, right, on social media. And like when you see people and they like stuff, they start commenting. The average person, you look at them like, oh, okay, that's just a social media person. But then, we added each other on there, and then I started seeing like how she posted, like, dang, she's so real, and her heart is so big. So the type of people that everybody lean on when they need something, but don't really have too many people to lean to when they need something. She's like the one that's holding it together for everybody and making them feel comfortable and making them feel safe and knowing that it's gonna be all right. And when I saw that energy, I was like, man, I got to find a way to build with her. And let me tell you what was funny. Um, I had some stuff happen, and then one of the things after my mom passed, I started doing these things called a free credit repair universities because I just wanted to kind of get back in front of people, meet people, see people, right? And she pulled up. You know what I'm saying? She came on and pulled up and said, "Hey, been wanting to meet you," and I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy. That's dope, right?" And we just hit it off, man, and we've been cool since. It's been like a bro sis relationship.
Yeah.
And one of the posts that I made when I was talking today, all right, and I talk about like how people can go through their whole life chasing money, right? Because we always chase what like we never really had access to. So a lot of people who came up, especially the way that I did, start really chasing money, or not really necessarily chasing it, but start thinking that that's the end all be all, that means success, right? And once we do that, we'll get money, but we start saying stuff like, "Hey, everybody ain't trying to be on what I'm on. I gotta leave them behind, gotta cut them off," and then you start cutting good people off because they don't really have, maybe the finances there, or they ain't chasing finances. But then you go through life and then you realize that, dang, I got all this money, but I don't have genuine people around me. I got a bunch of people that don't even know me, a bunch of yes men because I got the financial situation, and I done lost out a life of all kind of good people. So, and I said that you want to find the good people now and take them with you because if they weak somewhere, you know that they got a good heart and you know that they're a good person. Teach them, right? Take them with you because they're good hearted. Good hearted people ain't gonna drain your energy. Good hearted people aren't gonna bring you down. And so when I was actually making that post, Breach is one of the people that I had in mind about being a good-hearted person, about making sure that you find a way to take good people with you. And so I don't want you to just look at tonight as like a class. I want you to look at tonight as I'm getting introduced to a good person with a good heart who loves me and really want the best for me. So they teach it from that space because they really want me to win. And I just want to say thank you. I love you, sis. And thank you for, coming in, serving the inner circle. And, we blessed to have you. So, I just wanted to go ahead, and it wouldn't have been right if I didn't come on to introduce you, give you the proper introduction to the inner circle. So thank you, even though you're already in, even though you already climbed up the levels of the inner circle, but to come back and serve and teach the inner circle, something that you're literally the goat at. And, because there's a lot of people that know how to market and they all out in front of the camera and in front of everybody doing the tax liens, but I haven't really seen it broken down from the perspective that you give it to make sure that people get the meat and potatoes and get the fat thrown out. So I want to say thank you. And I want to let y'all know that y'all in for a treat tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and get out your
Yeah.
way and to say, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome from this side of the camera.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me the chance to come in, and I am here to share and let everybody know it's ways to purchase property and stuff and get change generational curse. But first, like you teach us, it starts with your mindset. You have to have the correct mindset. So I'm gonna get started, and I want to thank you again. And just to throw something out there, you guys, I have been following Derek for a while. And when I went to Credit Repair University, I have never been on a plane. That was the first time I was on a plane. And I had a 11-hour layover, and him and Brandon made sure they checked on me and my daughter to make sure we was okay the whole time until we got to Miami. So again, thank you, bro. Thank you so much for letting me come on and talk to the people and let them know it's other ways to make money. You just have to change your mindset and do what you need to do to move forward.
That's it. Well, I'm gonna drop off. If you need me for anything, y'all just hit me up, so I can focus on this road. But man, thank you, thank you, and I'ma see y'all. And as soon as the recording is ready, let me know so that I can watch it on the way back. All right, y'all.
All right. Bye, bro. Be safe.
All right, thank you. You too.
All right. Bye bye. Welcome, everyone. First of all, thank you guys for coming in, tuning in. My name is Abricia Crockett. A lot of you guys may or may not know me. I want to say I am the tax deed queen. I am tax lien queen. I have been doing tax deeds and tax liens since 2002 for a while. First, I want to introduce and let you know I have been doing it for a while, introduce myself and give you my story on why I started and how I stumbled up on tax liens and tax deeds. I don't know, I'm not going to tell my age, but I'm going to get out there and I'm going to let you know I'm the card cheat phase. I started with going into and studying cards and cheats. A lot of people may or might not know who that is, but that's how I got started and that's how I stumbled upon tax deeds. But how I got started, basically, my mindset was I was a mom, a teenage mom. At 16, I had my first child. After I graduated high school, I wanted to I wanted to be an attorney, but I wound up getting pregnant and wound up. I still graduated, and I just kept moving forward. And I was trying to find out how can I make money with real estate, get my own house for my child. But then guess what? I was diagnosed with cancer a year later after I graduated high school. So I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer and they gave me 6 months to live. It was an early stage. They didn't have all the technology that they have now. They gave me 6 months to live, and glory be to God, I am still here to this day, and it's been 20 plus years later. So I want to come to you guys and let you know, just keep the faith and keep pushing. That's my story. I was married 13 years, divorced, and I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. By this time, I had 3 kids. So once I got divorced, it took 2 years to get divorced, and I had no money. I had nothing. But I had started buying these properties, and all I had was the properties sitting to the side and didn't have no idea of what to do with them. I was just collecting them. I know that sounds crazy, but my mindset wasn't there. I just had a whole bunch of properties and still trying to figure out how to do it, how to take care of my kids and stuff like that. So, but that being said, I had to start changing my mindset, and my kids was my biggest driving force because I had lost everything, y'all. I had lost everything but my mind and God and my kids. That's it. So I started to study more, and I started in my community, in my own community, but I started studying more about the tax deed. I was like, what is this? Because I was really up for the fix and flips. And I was like, what is this? What is this right here? And so just because my mom was friends with the probate judge, I went to him. I could go to him personally and ask him, what was this? And he's like, that's a tax deed, that they are a priority to anything. And understood to me, he made me understand that that's priority to anything. So I was like, oh, okay. So how do I get them? Of course, people start looking at me crazy and all that. To make a long story short, I got a lot of doors slammed in my face. I got a lot of people looking at me because they was looking at me like they ain't know what I was talking about. But guess what? It was a kept secret that they didn't want everybody to know about. So when I started in Alabama alone, it was over $100,000, over 100,000 properties available to purchase. But I was doing it scared, y'all. I was scared. I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but I was like, but I can still try and do it. Let me just try and see how it turned out. And I'm here today. I got over $500,000 in value of property, and I'm here today just to introduce you guys and let you know that it's a way to do it, and everything has a procedure. So that's my story, and I've been doing it ever since then. And when I would start and I would stop because I was like, well, okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna try something else. But I'm gonna tell you guys, follow your mind, because every time I was try to stop doing that, put it on the back burner and start something new. Go to trucking school, go to nursing school, all of that. I always wind up coming back to real estate or tax deeds. I always did. So I want you to know, whatever you got your mind set on, don't if go with your first mind. Be intentional, keep your intentions pure, and be intentional about what you want to do, and still pray. I'm not trying to push my belief on anybody, but still pray and ask God for guidance, because he will give it to you. You just have to be still and listen and move forward. So today we're going to talk about how did I get started, how you get started, what's a tax lien, what's a tax deed. I hope y'all got y'all um I hope y'all got y'all pencils, pens, and paper ready and take notes. Tonight is going to be an introduction, and I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see what we're going to be talking about tonight. Give me 1 second, and we're going to get started on what we're going to be talking about tonight. 1 second. One second, you guys. I'm going to just share my screen for my presentation, and we're going to talk about what's a tax deed and what's the difference between tax deeds and tax liens. So we're gonna get that started tonight. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen?
We can see it, Coach.
Okay, awesome. So again, introduce myself again. My name is Abricia Crockett, and I'm gonna go into introduction of explaining to you what's the difference between a tax deed and a tax lien, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. So that if you don't mind, please hold your questions until the end of the session. But if you just have to, I don't mind answering. But if I don't see it, don't get upset. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to make sure that I cover everything for you guys so that y'all can get started. Okay. Okay. So a lot of people don't really know what the difference is. A tax lien and a tax deed are different. A tax lien is basically the actual lien that they put on the property, that when the person don't pay the taxes on the property, the back taxes, they put a lien against it. Just like any other lien, a mortgage or anything like that, the tax the property tax is priority. So they're gonna put a lien on it when you don't buy it, or you don't pay it. I'm sorry, y'all. When you don't pay it, they're gonna put a lien against the property. That's a tax lien, and that is priority. I don't care if it's a mortgage; it's supposed to be paid every year. Every state, every county, every city has it. That is a mandated thing that has to be paid, regardless of how you feel about it. Because you can have $1 million house, and if you don't pay those taxes, you'll be sitting there in your house, living la vida loco, and not pay your property tax. They're gonna auction it on the courthouse steps, whatever county you in, and that's ain't no obligation. So you have to pay those taxes. So that's when the lien comes in perspective. So A tax deed is something that you get once the redemption period, which is the time that they give you to pay your taxes. Some states are months, some states are are years. It just depends on your state and your county at that time. So please make sure you know the process in order to know how long you got in order to pay it. So if it's due this year and you didn't pay it, they're gonna auction it off on the courtroom steps, and so you have so long to pay it before they can foreclose on your house with a mortgage on it. They will foreclose because it's a lien. Once they foreclose on it, they can actually take possession of your house if you're not paying attention. Okay. Okay. What's the benefits of tax liens? I'm gonna tell you the benefits. You have a win-win situation when it comes to tax investment, tax property investment, tax lien investment, tax deed investments. No bank is gonna give you more than 0.001% on your investment. And what I mean by that is that it's potential to where you can make lucrative money with tax liens because most of the majority of the banks are doing that right now. They're under investigation by the IRS because they are getting the tax properties and they're selling them back to us. You are more than likely to Google all this information that I'm talking about, and you will see that it is news. It's in the news, and they're letting you know that um, these banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, all of them, Bank of America, they're buying tax properties to secure their investments because it's a win-win situation. So what you mean, Bree, by win-win situation? It means that if you purchase a tax lien property at an auction or over the counter, which is OTC, at an auction, then guess what? You become a lien holder on that particular property. So whatever state you're in, just say it's a state that the interest rate is 10%. Usually the interest rate be from 8% to 36% per year, not every 6, 10 years per year. And it depends on the state. And you will get either your money back plus the interest, or you will get the property. Either one. You win-win. You won't lose your money at all because it's a good investment. You're gonna either get your money plus your interest if they're redeemed, or you're gonna get the property. Me, I like to get the property, but it's times that comes to where you will get your money back plus interest from the account. Okay. You get we just talk about high returns and passive income potential. It's plenty of passive income potential when it comes to tax lien investment. It's different than a regular investment in real estate because most people want to do fix and flips or fix and rent it out and make passive income, which is potential. You can do whatever you want to with it once you become the owner, if that makes sense. But I want you guys to know and to dig deep in it to let you know it's other ways to make money with real estate. No, you don't have to have good credit. No, you don't have to have a whole lot of money. All you're going to pay is the back taxes. But when you going into anything, I want you to make sure that you have an amount of how much you want to invest. Okay? I want you to make sure that and where you're going to invest and what county and what state. Okay? So it's other ways to make it's other ways to make money with the investment, but it's a win-win situation basically. When it comes to passive income, you can rent it out. You can do fix and flips. You can Airbnb it. You can turn the land into a cemetery because here in Alabama, the funeral, the plots are $2,000, and guess what? It's tax free. So it just depends on what you want to do. Make sure you have an exit strategy, but it's a good way to invest your money and not lose your money versus the stock market or regular real estate investing. And so also when it comes to investing, it's a more secure investment when it comes to tax liens and tax deeds because it's secured with the property. And I know a lot of you said, well, what if it's another lien against it. We'll talk about that on down the line, but it's ways to where you can clear those other liens and you be in the number one priority, or you can just foreclose on it and get the whole property and it'll wipe out the other liens. But we'll talk about that on down the line. And it's backed by the government. So it's a mandated it's a mandated law. So that's priority. It has to happen. That's how they pay all the police officer, all the city officials, they use tax money to pay them. So it has to be paid. There's no way around it, you guys. It has to be done. And I just try to stress and let everybody know, if you don't pay nothing else, make sure you pay those bills, those property taxes, those property taxes. So we're gonna talk about, we talked about high interest rate as far as the investment go, and it's limited competition. And what I mean by limited competition, a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people do not know about it, or they second guess it and saying, "Is that real? Is that real? Is that legit? Is that is that possible?" Or how do you get started? A lot of people just don't know, or just don't know how to get started. And when it comes to tax properties, it's sometimes you can I've purchased tax properties for $100, $200 just for the back taxes, because you get a big discount. So my thing is, how I go into and how I determine is, if I can make a profit of $2,000, then I'm going to invest in it. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to have an exit strategy and how you want to go into it. But you will get discount. When I say discount prices, you will get discount prices, because some of the properties can be $500 and it can be worth $50,000. You see what I'm saying? The one that I purchased, I don't know if any of y'all follow me on social media, but I purchased one that was $200 and it was worth 5,000. I know a lot of people might think 5,000 is not enough. To them, that's not a lot of money to them, but to me, it adds up. So if I ain't gotta spend but $200 on something, we spend that on dinner or outing on a vacation when you can purchase the property. That's how I like to do. That's just me. That's just one of my strategies. And compound and return, which means you can always take that property also. Once you go through the process, you can take that property and you can go and get a loan against the property and buy more property. You know what I'm saying? So it's ways, but we're gonna talk about other ways as well on down the line. I just want to introduce you guys to it to let you know. I want you to think outside the box and let you know it's other ways to purchase property without having to work going through all the red tape as far as your credit, debt to income ratio, and all of that. Now it helps to purchase a lot of it, but you don't have to have that to start. Okay. As we see right here, basically the high interest rate returns, we already discussed that about the tax properties. As far as it could be as low as 8%. I've seen some as low as 5%, but it could go as high as 36%, and this is year per year, you guys. Ain't no bank giving that type of money to put your money in the bank and just let it sit there. No bank that I know of. If you know a bank that's giving that type of interest rate, please let everybody on the panel know that go to this bank. They're gonna give you the interest rate, this type of interest rate, if you put your money in there and let it sit. Okay, per year, per year. It's the same thing. Com, um, limited competition, potential acquiring with properties at a discount. We just talked about that. You can get them for little or nothing. I don't mind showing you how to do it, and we're gonna go through that later on. But it's only when the property owner fails to redeem and pay the lien, because you become a lien holder. Basically, you become the bank, you put your money on there, and you can foreclose on it. Basically, how it goes. Is I know I'm making it sound easy because I've been doing it for so long, but it's ways. I break it down and let you know that it's ways for you to do it, and you can be successful. Because my whole thing was that I needed money, so if anything happened to me, that my kids will be okay, that they will not have to go through what I went through trying to figure out how I'm gonna make money for this, how I'm gonna make money for that, when I could take the property and use that as leverage to do whatever I need to do to take care of my kids. And I just wanted my kids to be able to have something if something happened to me today and be taken care of. Okay, so I know this was kind of short, but I knew a lot of people would have questions, and I'm open for questions at this moment.
Hey, Bricia, if you go into the Q&A, let me get this photo out for here.
Okay.
Okay. And if you place the questions in the chat, guys, can you copy and paste them and put them in the Q&A? I'm going to try to get to them. But what is the percentage of tax liens that you won via an auction and the property owner came back with the back taxes, which caused you not to get the property? So how often do you see that where the property owner does come back to redeem the property?
Okay. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I have not had it but once or twice since I've been doing it because I like to do over the counter, which is OTC. I go directly to the store, to the source, because now most of the time, the once the property is not sold at the auction, it goes to the particular state, and I buy over the counter, which means I can buy them 365, 7 days a week.
Ah, so you are not at the auctions. You are
No,
doing more through another method. So you're not out there having a bidding war.
no, I don't like going to the auction because mm-mm.
So y'all heard that? You can buy OTC, over the counter, and
Yeah.
that reduces the rate of property owners coming back to redeem the property. Okay, that's a little strategy. Okay. Someone wants to know if they can start investing with $300.
Yes, you can.
Good,
You can.
nice. And can I purchase these for my children?
Yes, you can. You can purchase them for your children. We're gonna talk about it later. And you can put it in a trust. So, but that's on down the line, and we'll talk about that in another session. But yes, you can purchase it for your kids. That was my main thing, was to purchase for my kids so they could leverage if anything happens to them.
Okay, awesome. Yes, she will be coming back and we'll be going in detail, breaking this down step by step. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, definitely be on the lookout for the continuous process. Can I borrow against my tax deed property to buy more property?
Yes. Yes, you can. You because you're the owner now. You're the owner. Once you go through the process, the proper channels to um clear everything out, make sure it's not any other liens and stuff of that, which will be going on for also. Then you can go to the bank and get a loan against it, because the bank gonna want certain insurance, title insurance, in order to give you a loan against it. But that's not required if you want to sell it.
Mm.
That's not required. A title insurance is not required if you want to sell it. Okay.
Y'all got that? Y'all hope y'all caught that. All right. So as a lien holder, are you responsible for the insurance on the property?
You are responsible for the insurance on the property, but you're just I wanna answer it correctly. You wanna always CYA, which is protect yourself, I don't put insurance on all of my properties. I just put up a no trespassing sign, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Put a no trespassing sign on the property. Private property, no trespassing. So if
Got it.
anybody get hurt or anything like that, it's a private property. You don't supposed to be on it anyway, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes. And look at Miss Tab. Miss Tab say, where do you start looking for properties? Miss Tab, we could come back in and talk about looking for properties, but Abrisha may want to show a site or something tonight if you wanted to discuss that at all about where to start looking for these properties.
Yes, I can show. I don't mind showing. I can show. Um, well, when you start looking for the properties, you need to start. You need to make sure you know exactly what state and what city or county you want to invest in. I would recommend everybody to start at their hometown, but it just depends on the process in your hometown, in your home state, and what is the redemption period in it. Okay. So, but you can always go there and look and see what the process is so you can get familiarized with it. See what I'm saying? Um, I I'm not gonna lie. I like to tell people go where your budget can fit in the program, in the process. Don't try to go broke doing it, but use something to where it's in your budget. Have a budget, you guys. If it's $300, make it be three. If it's five, make it be five. But make sure that you understand that you need a budget and an exit strategy on what you're gonna do with the property. Okay.
But exit strategy. Got it. All right. So I think that answers Shannon and Talia questions about how to find the tax liens. And again, we're going to have a whole session on looking at and finding tax liens. Where do we look for these tax liens? Look, y'all ready? Y'all ready to get started? All right, Tiffany says she just pulled up her county tax liens and did a search on my street and found a property. What are the next steps? Tiffany, you ready to go take the home? Let's talk about you mentioned the redemption period, right? So what's the redemption period in is it by state or county? Are these state laws?
Yes, it's by state. Each state has a different redemption period, and
Okay.
they can change it. I want everybody to know that when it comes to these state laws, they can change it without having to go to the federal government to change the laws and all that stuff. They can change it within a blink of an eye because in Alabama, it used to give you 20 days to make a decision once you get an offer from the state itself. Now they dropped it down to 10 days. You got 10 days to decide, and if you can't decide within there, they're gonna send it to the next person because it's first come, first serve on OTCs. But Alabama is 3 years. I don't have 3 years to be waiting. I'm being honest. Um, I like to get the ones that the redemption period is already over because if I give you my money, I want my deed. I'm just I'm just stating facts. But each state is different.
All right. So would you say that your OTC method, are you able to find properties that are closer towards the end of the redemption period? Do they have those at
Yes,
auction as well? Okay.
yes, yes, you can get both of them. Some states they just offer the liens and you have to wait until the redemption period is in order for it to turn into a deed. In some
Mhm.
states they sell the deed and they sell the deed. So once you purchase the deed, then the redemption period, you can go ahead and do the process and go ahead and do what you need to do to secure the property.
Got it. Now, during the redemption period for the states that do require like that, only sell the properties with liens. Let's say you do some type of property preservation. You put some money into the property because you don't want it to go down. If it's 3 years, 5 years, or whatever, you want to actually put something into the property, you put some money into it. But then at some point before the end of the redemption period, the property owner comes to redeem the property. Do you get any of that money back that you put into that property during that time?
Well, in the beginning, they used to give you the money back as you fix it up and stuff like that. But they had people that start investing in tax lien and saying that they did a certain amount and didn't have records of it. So they only gonna allow in certain states they won't allow you to get any of the money back. So what I try to teach people is I prefer them to wait until the redemption period up because I had one of my business partners win one at the auction. The redemption period was a year redemption period, and she started fixing up the duplex. And right before, a day before it was the redemption period was up, the owner came back, and all she got back was her $11,000 that she invested in at the auction.
Okay.
And that was in Georgia. I don't mind sharing what state it was. No shame against Georgia. I'm just saying.
All right, let's see. Okay, so our Brett wants to know is it better to purchase in your home state instead of out of state, or does that matter?
It really doesn't matter where you purchase at. It's up to you because some states you don't have to be present to buy the property, to apply for the property, or to sell the property. Now, St. Louis has it to where you have to be a resident there. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean you can't start a business and have an agent, register agent. In that particular area because they have a lot of properties that are available.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go. All right. Are there any attorney fees when you win a tax lien at the auction?
It's attorney fees, it's all kind of fees when you win a property at the auction, but all of that is included in the fees. Whatever you win the bid on, that's already included. That's already included because guess what? The city wants their money, the county wants their money. They're gonna add all the fees, every last bit. So if you just prime example, if you go and purchase a property OTC and it was sold to the state in 2016, from 2016 to today, you're gonna have the fees that's added to that, and that's gonna be already included in the offer. So when you go to an auction and you win, they already done put all their fees in there. But it's separate attorney fees when it comes to if it has other liens on it. But we'll talk about that on down. It's a process, but it can be done. That's why we got the attorneys to help us because they know the ins and outs of the laws when it comes to real estate and tax liens.
Got it. All right. Let's see. So in a tax deed auction, how do you verify what other liens are owed? Like, is there a website? Can you go through an attorney? How do you know before
Okay.
you get
I
into
have
that?
tools. I have tools that I use. I have a website that I use, but if you can always go to the assessor's office where the property is listed for sale at, because that is that liens are public. They supposed to be public knowledge. You have the right to have all the information about any property that's for sale that has a lien. You got the right to know all the liens, including weed liens and all that, where they have the city to cut the grass when it's been vacant lots and stuff like that. All of that is public knowledge. So wherever you purchasing that property at, whatever county, go to that county website, pull it up, pull that particular parcel up, and it's gonna show you a list of every lien that's against it because it's supposed to be public.
It's supposed to be public.
Yes. You can't come and tell me that you own my property and you don't have records that you have interest in it. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Understood. So before going to the auction, this information is out there. So you can do your research even before going to the auction to know what is
Yes.
what. All
Please
right.
do your due diligence. If you don't do anything else, do your due diligence. Look at the property. Lay eyes on the property, you guys, or hire somebody to go take pictures or a video for you. And make sure you look and see what other liens are on it. Okay? Please, please, please.
Got it. How do we find the state website to locate the properties? I guess you can Google, is it gonna be like a .gov or a city, like, is it a city thing, a county thing?
It's a county. Depending on what state, you can simply put in how to purchase property in New York, New York, or how to purchase property in Dade County, Miami, how to purchase tax lien properties in Dade County, Miami. And it's gonna come up the county websites. Each county is different, you guys. So if you want, depend on, that's why I tell them, make sure they know what state and what county, because each county has their own process. Some of them are online, some of them have over the counter, some have liens. You have to know the process. Each county is going to have that process on their website because it is public information. If they don't give you that information on that website and you go and ask and they do not give it to you, you let them know you can give it to me voluntarily, or I can go around the corner to the district attorney's office and he can make you give it to me because it's public knowledge.
Got it. Got it. All right. So if you're looking to get into this business as an investor, what's the realistic amount to invest and build up in, like in terms of cash flow? What would you suggest to a person getting into this business? What type of cash flow do they need?
It depends on what their goals are. Like if they want to fix and flip, or do they want to fix and hold and rent it out, or it just depends. Because a person that just want to fix and hold, or just want to purchase and not fix them up and flip them, then they're not have to have, they don't have to have a lot of money. But if you're trying to fix them up, you got to think about the rehab, the rehab fees and what you're gonna do to the property and what you got to do and your contractors. It's just up to you. But for as purchasing the property, once you purchase the property, you can always stretch that out, but you got to have extra strategy. But you can purchase a property for less than 300. It just depends on what area. Now you can't take $300 and go purchase property in New York City because half of their properties up there, they tax properties is $3,000 a year. Versus in the South, it might be $300, it might be $500, it might be $100. In Mississippi, they auction somebody property off for $5. $5.
Mm-hmm.
That's snacky snack money. That's a cold drink. And they auction somebody property off because they left off $5 from paying their property.
Wow.
They don't care. That's priority. They don't care nothing about it.
They don't, y'all, they don't. Wow. Okay, we got some questions about the class. We definitely gonna get to that. Is it best to get it at the courthouse or reach out to the owner?
Good question.
Real good question.
You can do either or. But let me tell you, a lot of times the owners don't even know that their property are up for sale. So I'm gonna give you, it's several strategies you can do that, but you're risking the fact to where you lose that option. They might not know, and then you go tell them they go buy it, which that would be the ethical thing to do. That would be the ethical thing to do, is to reach out to them, and just in case they don't know. But you can also reach out to them and say, I seen your property on the auction list and I would like to give you an offer. And then y'all move forward. Okay. And then you won't have to go through the process. They can just quick deed it over to you. Quick claim deed it over to you. But you still have to do your due diligence and make sure there's no other liens on that property. Okay.
Got it. Got it. And we had a question about like the process once the redemption period is up. Like I said, she's going to come back. We're going to talk some more about the process, step by step, what to do, how to find them, the different stages of the process. But just a quick answer to that, like after the redemption period is up, is it literally, or do you own that? Like, can you get the the deed for that property at that point?
Yes, you're gonna get the deed for the property, but if any liens are on it and you want to, say for instance, you want to sell it and they have to go through a bank to get the funds, then they're gonna want title insurance. They're gonna want you to have quiet title it. Make sure all other liens or any other possible interests are are suppressed. But me, what I do, I don't do that for every property that I get, because what I do, I just flip them. I get them and I flip them. It depends on the property value at that time once I become the owner of it. I record the deed once it becomes mine, and I use another strategy where I contact my other partner and I say, I need this, I want this amount, and she gonna make it happen. She gonna sell it for me, basically.
Nice, nice. How many income streams would you say one can have from this business?
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh wow. Let me just do I need to name any?
Exactly. We're gonna have a class on the breakdown. We're gonna have a class on the breakdown because they will want to know how to get in the class, how to get more information. But just a roundabout figure or a number, how many income streams could you build from this one business? Just understanding this information.
a minimum, a minimum of 5 off the top of
Mhm.
my head. That's just a minimum.
Wow.
And I give a lot of strategies on how to build passive income with your properties, whether it has a house on it or whether it's just land. Either way,
Oh,
all I'm gonna say, those billboards you ride by on the interstate. That's
okay. Jim. All right. All right. Which states and counties are the most lucrative for a $500 initial budget? Like, where would you say in your research, you might not know all states or counties, but what area or region of the US would you suggest that they start looking in? I know you mentioned the South is really good
the
because
South,
property taxes that are lower.
the South,
Mhm.
the South, the
Okay.
South.
So the South, y'all just stay out of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and we're gonna be okay. I'm just playing. Group economics, we can come together and buy up the entire city. Forget the block. All right. All right. LeBron's is asking about New York City. Are you familiar with that area? I know it would be a little bit more
It's
expensive.
gonna be it's gonna be
Mhm.
expensive. New York is very expensive. The property tax there are higher. So you have to have a good budget there to start there. You have to
Got
have a good budget. It's gonna be expensive. New York, any upstate, New York and New Jersey, I have some of my partners are already invested in themselves and came on board with me. They are in New Jersey, in New York, and I can say with proud that most of them own their properties in southern states, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and stuff of that nature.
Awesome. Awesome. And notice she said partners, y'all. I was lurking on her social media and I saw she had posts where she's like, partners, we got we got bids.
We
I saw
got
those
offers.
got
We got
offered. That's what it was. We have offered. Tune
check,
in.
check your emails. You get offers. Get offers.
So when that redemption period is over, are you notified or do you normally have to keep track of the time frame?
When the redemption period is over, usually you when you get an offer, you will know the date. When you apply for it, you will know the date. It'll have the date up there of the time that it was sold. And usually the deeds are blue and the liens are green. So usually it'll be you can keep up with it, but 9 out of 10, they're gonna convert into a deed. They're gonna send it to you anyway. You just gotta be home to sign for it because it's a legal document.
Yes, yes. All right. So we talked about the best states. Okay, so as far as interest rates, do you have any insight on like the best states as far as interest rates is
Yes.
concerned? Yes.
Yes. Florida.
Nope. All
Florida.
right. Florida. That's all we want to know. That's all we want to know. Abrisha is an elite client, and I am about to change all that for her. So she's only going to be doing one-on-one for so long. Give me about 30, 45 days. We're going to be all group coaching. What are all the types of liens that could be on a property? That'll be a class, but if you can think of some right after.
Yeah, deed liens where the grass haven't been cut, mortgage liens, construction liens. That's 3 alone. But the city will still put a lien against it if they have to come out and cut your grass and all that. Once you well, I got to say this, once you get the property, you are still entitled to cut the grass. Sometimes they will charge upstate, they will charge $900 to cut grass. Please cut the grass. Okay. But it's several, whatever lien that can put up against the house, they can put against the property because that's part of the property. A lot of people said, does the house come with the property? It does. Anything attached to that property comes with it, whether it's an old boat on it, car, whatever on it comes with that property, you guys. Okay. That's how they determine how much to charge you per taxes. Okay.
Nice. All right, y'all, if you are putting your questions in the chat and not into the Q&A, I may miss them. So make certain that you're putting them in the Q&A. Someone wants to know if they could buy a tax lien property and live in it themselves.
Yes, it's yours. You could fix it up and move in it yourself, turn it into a group home. You could do whatever you want to do.
All righty. Most lien lists, Granny T says, most lien lists that she's seen are not the actual address, but like a plot number. How do you go about identifying them?
I use a program to where I put that parcel number in there, and it pulls up the actual size. Because a lot of times when they put, it's not an address, it's just vacant land. So I use a certain app to where I put the parcel number in there, and it brings up the square footage and stuff like that on where it's located at. And it brings up the particular owner right beside, whoever owns it beside me, whoever owns the property beside me, the property that I'm looking at. I use a certain app. So, but take that parcel number and you can put it in the county's website on where you're looking at property at, and go from there and see if they can give you some information for it. You should be able to print it out about the square footage and square footage and all of that. But yeah, because you're gonna need that if you ever want it surveyed, you're gonna need that.
Awesome. All right. So is there an application to apply for property?
It is an application. It is an application that you have to use to apply for property for every property. I know in the state of Alabama, if you want to apply, I usually tell my partners to apply for 20 to 40 properties a day. I do. And it's an application for each one. For each property, you have to fill out an application, but the application takes you 2 minutes. And everything's done online.
Got it. So for 2 hours a day, when you wake up in the morning, go ahead and get that out of the way, or you can go to one of our VA companies and get you a VA and speed that process and have them to do that for you. 20 to 40 properties, you said, a day?
Yes.
All right. Granny C says, how much should we charge to be feet on the ground? Maybe I missed something, or do you understand what she said?
Yes, feet on the ground means the person that go and scope out the property for you.
Okay.
It depends on you. You're in control of that. You're the one being feet on the ground, so you can charge what you want. You can charge what you want. I can't tell you what to charge, but Some people charge $50, $60 to go take pictures in a video of property. It just depends on where the area is. But when y'all do that, please be mindful. Do not go by yourself when you go look at these properties, because you don't know what type of environment it is in. And I want everyone to be safe. Safe. Okay? Don't never go by yourself.
Mhm. Now, with your partners, are all of your partners graduates of your class, your course?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
you go through the
I'm
course.
gonna make sure that I work with them each one-on-one. They will tell you. One-on-one, I make sure. I'm gonna call you and be like, how many you done apply for? What offers you got? Send me the offers. Let's evaluate it, analyze it, and see how much money you can make from it and what you need to do. I'm gonna make sure. I just need y'all to do y'all part.
Okay. And in a very brief response, is it a state office, city, county, where you find your OTC properties?
It depends on what state you're dealing with.
Depends on the state. All right. Will they charge you for not mowing your property if it's a heavily wooded area?
No, if it's a heavily wooded area, you can't mow it. It just depends on the property. Make sure you do the research of the property, because the property gonna let you know when you look it up if they've been charging for it or not. And then that way it'll let you know if you need to be prepared to get somebody with a bush hog. Yeah, I'm country. Bush hog to go there and cut the always be prepared. You're gonna do your due diligence. You're gonna look at that property and make sure you look at it and make sure it's something that you want to invest in. Always.
All right. Oh, good question, Mika. Can we get commercial property too?
Yes, you can get any property that you want when it comes to tax property. Any property. Any property that requires you to pay property taxes, you can get. Yes. I prefer commercial a lot because that's the high dollars. That's the high dollar property.
The high dollars. Okay. Do you recommend that you purchase your properties under a business entity or under your personal name?
Well, this what I prefer personally. If you're gonna purchase it out of state, then do it in your personal name. And then when you get it recorded, you change it over. You can quick deed it over to your business name. But if you're there if you in person and in your area, and you can go to the courthouse, then go ahead and put it in your business name. But they're gonna want to make sure you own that business, okay? So make sure you have all your LLC paperwork in order and go down there, because you're gonna need it if you put in your business name up front.
Awesome. Okay. Look, Laurent is still asking about states. He said ATL and South Carolina. Are they good states for this?
South Carolina. I'm gonna be honest. ATL is an auction state. You're gonna have to go in person, and they don't have over the counter. You're gonna have to go in person at ATL. You're gonna have to go in person. North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to be completely honest. I don't like those states. Why? Because there's upset bid. And what I mean by upset bid is mean I can go in there and I can bid on a property. And then they give another person 10 days to come and bid higher than me. And it's a call to upset bid. So that's why I don't like them, because if I'm not paying attention, if you're not paying attention and somebody come in there and they notify you that somebody has came and outbid you a couple of dollars, then that next person's gonna win that property and you don't know nothing about it. I don't like North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm sorry, you guys, nothing personal, but it still can be done. You still can purchase it.
Got it. Yeah, I don't like that either, Jamie. Mika says Texas is great for it, over 50,000 available. That sounds like a lot of opportunity, a lot of connections, a lot of networking when y'all get this information.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yes.
Mika. All
Yes.
right. So, oh, there you go, Mika. I was like,
Hey, my girl.
hey, hey. Now I brought Mika up because I see a lot of you are asking like, how can you get in the class? How can you learn this information and all of that? So Abricia does teach this information one-on-one right now. We'll be going over the group coaching, but there is a more cost-effective way to get a 2-for-1. So y'all could build a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. That so I brought Mika up so that y'all could talk about what's coming up, how you guys have partnered or ladies have partnered, and how can people get more of this information. And Mika, you were on a call with Coach Derek about a month or so ago, and you guys talked about what you do, but I'd like to give you the mic just for a moment to just share what you do, and then y'all can talk about the collaboration that y'all have coming up.
Hey guys, yes, I'm gonna make it real brief because this is Bree's moment. But yes, I teach clients how to get six-figure postal contracts. I was on, I think maybe 6, 7 weeks ago with Coach Harper. And so I had a lot of people that couldn't qualify for the funding. A lot of people reached out to me via email and was telling me that they were, in a bad position financially, and they just could not afford the typical price of my class. But we wanted to do something to serve you guys. We wanted to do something because this is what has pulled me out of, turn it down. This is what has pulled me out of ever having to work a 9 to 5 again. And then, of course, Bree has told you she has over $500,000 in properties. So we wanted to really do something for you guys to help you get in a better situation. So you're going to get a 2-for-1, and we're going to be teaching both of our classes in person for only $997. And yes, I say only because our classes cost thousands due to the value that you get from them. But if you're under Coach Harper, you understand the comparing value, to cost. But yeah, I'm gonna let Bree take over from here. Thank you so much for giving me the mic, and I hope you guys have a blessed night.
Thank you, Mika.
Thank you, Mika. Yes, 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 yes. That is my wonderful partner. She teaching you how to get six-figure postal contracts, and I will be teaching you how to find these properties and what you need to do in order to secure them and to become the owner in person in Houston, Texas. This will be the only time that I will be able to teach you guys in person for this price. For this price, y'all already heard L said it. Y'all heard L said it already. This for the next 30 to 45 days, that's gonna be it. And and so I would like to see each and every one of you guys in the building. And I'm gonna go step by step.
All right. So when is this class? When is this?
It is July the 22nd, 2023, from 9 to 5. I think it is 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. It's our all day, 1 day retreat class, and we're gonna go in depth. I'm gonna show you everything I do. I'm gonna give you strategies on how to make passive income. And before you leave there that day, you will know how to purchase property and how to get six-figure contracts with the Postal Service. That's a guarantee. As long as you do your part and you show up, we're going to make sure you get the information and the information that you need. On top of that, everybody that joins the VIP will be entered into a drawing to get free property that you will have before you leave.
Wow.
One person is going to win a piece of property. I'm going to sign the deed over to them before they leave Houston that day.
That is worth the price alone to be able to get that. So we have the ticket price. General is $997. You have a VIP option for this?
Yes, she has the VIP option as well. I can send it. Is she still on? Mika, can you post the VIP option as well?
And
Well,
our amazing resource
well,
coach, she has put there's a link going in the chat. There's a
yeah,
link.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. It's one on there. Once they sign up for the general admission, they have the option to click to be added to the VIP.
Okay, on the checkout page, there's the price for the general admission, and then there's a box right beneath to click if you want to be added to VIP. What's the difference between the general and the VIP?
The VIP are the ones that will be added into the drawing.
Awesome, got it. All right, and we have Mika and Jamie in the chat with some links. Y'all, this was not a pitch tonight. It definitely was not a pitch. It was just Abricia's date to come up and start the introduction with tax liens, and just so happened, thank God, praise God, that you guys can get both the postal contract class as well as the tax liens class all together in the same day. It is from 9 to 5. So if you are available to come, be prepared to learn a lot of information. It is July 22nd in Houston, Texas, from 9 to 4, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., July 22nd in Houston, Texas. All right. So again, this was not a pitch, this was not a sales thing, but it just so happens to fall like that they are collaborating. Mika's class is thousands of dollars to take. Abricia's class is thousands of dollars to take, and about to be twice as much as what it is right now. But you can get them all. Like, that's amazing. I'm definitely planning to be there. So, all right.
Amazing.
Trying to see if there are any questions that maybe someone had about the training or anything, the upcoming class or anything tonight. It is on both of their pages with more information. Yes, it is in Houston. All right.
And they need to make sure they bring their tablet or their laptop with them.
Yes, bring 2 tablets, pack a pen, pencils, erasers, laptop, backup chargers, everything.
I'm just looking through the chat. Miss Tiffany time to do one-on-one tomorrow.
All right, okay. Talaya says she cleaned her room and she cleaned her seat in the room. Awesome. All right, I don't see any more questions about the class or tonight's training. Fabricia, tonight was amazing. Based off of the chat, I would say that there are enough people who are interested in tax liens. Y'all, do y'all want to Fabricia back? Are y'all interested in learning more about this process and understanding how you can get into it?
Yes.
I'll say that you can is going to replace like her one-on-one trainings or even the class that they're having in Houston. But if you want her back, all right, they definitely want you back so they can learn more of this information. So go ahead and start getting into the real estate game. And she said little money down, no credit, good credit, bad credit, it don't matter because you're paying cash for these properties. You can do residential, you can do commercial. That is that you can get a commercial property with a tax lien.
Exactly. And one more thing.
Yes.
You can use your credit card to pay for some of these properties online once you get your offer.
What? I know. You can get your credit card on and pay for them online. When you learn the OTC method, is that what you're saying to me? You can use your credit card to get these properties. Okay, it's time for another credit class. So y'all get this credit up and we can understand where to get these high limit credit cards, who to go to, where to get them at. No, 0% interest, 12 months, 18 months. Go and buy them up. Okay.
Yes. They would need that. They can use that and get a whole lot of property.
Whole lot of profit.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
All right, guys. It has been a pleasure. Thank you guys for joining in. You know what I'm going to say. There should be a link where you can leave Abricia a video review to let her know how you enjoyed her tonight. We do send our coaches over their reviews. And so if you can leave her some testimonials, that would be great. Some reviews on this training, that would be great. And we'll definitely be bringing her back. I'm just looking at the chat to make certain I don't miss anything. So, all right.
And they need to make sure if you have a home with a mortgage on it right now, make sure you call down to the assessor's office and make sure that the mortgage company hasn't dropped the ball, and make sure they have paid your property tax. Because if you don't, it'll keep people like me and my partners that will purchase the property.
Did y'all hear that? If you have a property with a mortgage and those taxes are supposed to be coming out of escrow, just because you see the money leave the account does not mean that it's going to the assessor's office and paying your taxes. Call down to the assessor's office and ask them, simply ask them, have my taxes been paid for 2022? Ask them and see what's going on, because they notify you? Like, when do you get notified that your home is about to go into foreclosure? What?
They don't notify you. They notify the mortgage company, because they're responsible for paying it. So they notify the mortgage company. But guess what? Your name is going to be in the newspaper, because guess what? It's public knowledge. But you don't know to look in your. Don't nobody be on the newspaper. You don't know to look in the newspaper for your name, because you're not expecting your property to be up for sale.
Wow.
Please, y'all, if y'all don't do nothing else, if you don't take no course, if you don't want to learn, at least go and make sure that the property taxes are paid. Please. Because everybody ain't going to be as ethical as I am to come and say, if you got kids or if it's older people, please pay your property tax.
Wow. And let's say it is an issue where the mortgage company did not pay the taxes. Are you still held responsible? Are you liable for that? Is it a situation where you can say, well, I didn't know they were supposed to be paying it. Can we do anything? No, it's all on you.
It's all on you. The mortgage company just dropped the ball. They're going to say you have to make sure that your stuff is taken care of. Please, all you gotta do is pick up the phone. We sleep with our phones. Please pick up your phone and call down there, please. And just make sure it's paid. Because if you don't, some people, it's not gonna be as generous, you guys. If you stay in $1 million home and they can pay $5,000 to get your property, you actually think they're gonna tell you that your property's been sold? No. They wait for the redemption period and they're gonna foreclose on it and they're gonna kick you out. And you live in La Vita Loca with your feet up there and don't know what's going on. And there's nothing you can do. Because that's law. That's backed by the government. You have to pay property tax.
All right. Well, that was the closing note. You have to pay property taxes. And if you don't, you're coming for it. All right. That sounds so hard. Wow. All right, y'all. So that concludes our session for tonight. Thank you guys for joining us for another amazing Inner Circle call. We will see you guys on next week. And again, go ahead if you are interested. July 22nd, Houston, Texas. You can get postal contracts, learn how to get 6-figure postal contracts, and then purchase property. Little money, no credit required. You can even purchase properties on credit cards. Y'all learn a lot tonight that can help you to build and create generational wealth. So good night, you guys. We love you. Thank you, Abricia.
You're so welcome. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rose.